Hello lovely people, I am still sat on this floor. I didn't even get up since the last video. I was like, you know what, I have my notes, so let's just film back to back and we can get the feeling in our leg back afterwards. If you don't know what to talk about, you haven't seen the nervous guide. But this is the second of the two videos on the show, the Jonathan Larson Project. If you're thinking what should you talk about, why is there two videos, we'll get into that in a second, but firstly we have to say hit the intro. So yes, we are back with the second video. If you're thinking what are you talking about, let's quickly get through it. For every show that I see, I like to do two separate videos, time and willing permitted. The first one being the nervous guide. The nervous guide was the last video. The nervous guide is everything you need to know about the show before you go in, whether that be content warnings, sensory warnings. Don't mind me, I'm just plugging in my phone because it needs charging. Content warnings, sensory warnings, information about the theatre, any merchandise available, anything that will help you before you get to the show in relation to things that might make you slightly nervous to go or anxious to go. That's the worst way I've ever put that, but we're moving on. The second video is this. This is the review. Review is all comes with an inverted comma warning, because at the end of the day I'm no way professional. I just like seeing shows, and sometimes, like on this trip, I am seeing most of the shows on my own, which means I have no one to talk through it all with. I have no one to be the person next to me as I leave a show going, oh my gosh, that person was amazing, this thing was great, I wouldn't have put that like that, etc, etc. So we do these instead. These are some of my favourite things to do. I always have the old notebook ready and raring to go once I come back from a show. I literally give myself the time walking either home or to a hotel room, or just sit on the tube to ponder my thoughts, and then I come and scroll them all down with the world's worst handwriting, and then we talk about it. So without further ado, let's talk all things Jonathan Larson Project. Now let's first go in with this. The Jonathan Larson Project is what I would like to call a love letter to the composer. This show sees 5 amazing actors taking on a variety of Jonathan Larson's earlier experimental and sometimes even unheard songs, which are being put together into like a song book of sorts. I personally have been a fan of one of Jonathan Larson's most well-known shows, which is Rent, since I was in university. I was introduced to it at university by someone that I lived with and have been absolutely obsessed with it ever since. Bearing in mind I was like 18 when I discovered it, and I'm now a lot older than that. So I've always been a fan of listening to Rent. I am a bad Jonathan Larson fan in that I haven't seen many other things by him, such as Tick Tick Boom, which I know, I apologise, but this show is really interesting in that you get to hear songs that kind of built what Rent became in a way, from songs that are almost written like pop songs to songs that were part of a show and got cut, or that were going to be put into a show that never got to exist. From the moment the show begins and the cast are on stage and they are watching the projections at the back of the stage, with short clips of or short videos, clips, photos with voice over the top of sometimes Jonathan himself and sometimes other people who were close to him. It's just very cleverly put together, and at times almost feels emotional in a way. It's kind of like, yeah, I don't know how best to describe it. I do like to say it is a love letter, but I don't even know if that's the best way to put it. As each song starts, on that back wall projection there is the name of the song, when it was written, and also a little bit possibly of information about whether it was standalone or written as part of something or written for something. Also in the digital program that is available through QR code and on your arrival into the space, there is a little bit more information in that program about the songs, some of which I kind of want to just listen to on repeat, and obviously some of them were not really played or recorded or anything like that prior to this project beginning, which is insane, and for that reason I hope that somewhere down the line someone records all these, because some of them I just want to listen to over and over again. So instead of this show having a plot as such, instead it has these different songs with different voices / characters running through them, so that one person is not the same person going all the way through. That made no sense, but in my head it did. And each member of the 5-strong cast were absolutely incredible, with excellent acting, vocals and movement which has been directed by Taylor Walker. It's not like strong, dancey, powerful, like all singing or dancing by any stretch of the imagination, but the movement that's been put throughout the show just works brilliantly. And the fact that it means that some of the cast can run up to the side of the stage and just start dry up in the air, which makes no sense if you've not seen the show, and I'm not going to explain why that happens. But yes, it all goes down in an hour and 25 minutes of pure joy. Moving on to the cast that I have just mentioned, for my performance I had 2 of the offstage covers. So my cast was Max Harwood, Natalie Kasanga, Michael Mather, Edward Flynn Haddon and Georgie Butler. Each one of them absolutely insane. It kind of feels like they're just having the best time ever on that stage, or at least that's how it's portrayed by the looks and the movement and everything on stage, and it just feels so fun and freeing, and looks like they're having the best time ever. Hopefully they are. Each person has their time to shine, if you will. There are some ensemble songs that everyone has a little bit of. There are some songs that are mostly led by someone, with the rest of the cast being kind of backstage or background singers with harmonies that are to die for. My highlights personally, and this isn't to say that everything else in the show was absolutely terrible, it was not, but for me personally, Breaking Out the Bruise and Hosing the Furniture, which are both performed by Georgie Butler, were absolutely incredible, which is crazy because those 2 songs are nothing like each other. My other favourite, and this is the only one that I kind of knew before going in, is the song Love Heals. Now if you are a fan of the Rent film, then you may be aware of the song Love Heals, because it appears on the cast recording as like an extra track. And I was kind of prepared for this because I do listen to Love Heals quite a lot. It is just the loveliest song in the world, and when you learn the backstory through reading the program, and also kind of when it came up on the projection at the back, it kind of hits home even further. But the vocals that came out of Natalie Kasanga's mouth for that song were ungodly. There is also moments in that song where the entire cast like just give it all the wallop in the world, and I was like, slowly tear trickling down my face. It was insane. And then after that song finishes, the lights go down and they show one more set of clips before they finish with the one final song, which is piano, which again was quite emotional for me. It was something special, and I really enjoyed listening to it all. This is also the 30th anniversary year since Larson's passing, so that gave it a completely different feel at times, especially when in some cases some of these songs are being performed and listened to by certain people, including myself, for the first time. It just felt so special, and definitely I'm so glad that I got a chance to see this show before it closes, because I was really on the fence whether I would be able to come down and watch this show before it closed, because it closes on the 22nd. If you are a fan of Rent, or if you are just a musical theatre fan, I would 100% recommend this show. Like I said, it has got less than a week by the time this video goes up before it closes. It closes on the 22nd of August 2026, and yeah, hopefully it gets some further life further down the line, because it is just a joy to listen to. Please make a cast recording, pretty please. But yes, that is it. I have kept this quite short so that I don't have to edit a great deal and get this up ready for its final week of shows. But I'm so glad that I got a chance to see it before it closed. Claps, claps, pat on the back for me. Anyway, that is it. It is nearly 6:30, and that means that I need to go and run out the door to my evening performance now. But thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you come back for my next theatre-based content. Other than that, I'm going to leave you alone and say thank you very much for watching. And yeah, the final thing we always say is this: so long, farewell, and Wiedersehen, and goodbye. Bye everyone.